let's start by, just give a bit of introduction about you. What do you do? And, I know you very well, but, for
Sure,
people, yeah.
sure. So my name is Andy Lian. I'm right now in Singapore. So I'm more known as an early adopter in blockchain, and also some of my work with the government. So I'm fairly pro-government in a more realistic way. So right now I'm the advisory board member to Hyundai DAC. Hyundai, as we all know, is one of the largest car manufacturer brand in the world. So I gave them my advice in terms of tokenization and the governance. So apart from this, I'm a book author, I'm an investor. I actually gave advice to many different companies as well. So nice meeting all of you, man.
Thank you, Andy. Andy, let's start with the big brother, big daddy, Bitcoin.
Sure.
Now, what's this? I think question which people face is why should they invest in Bitcoin at all?
Is Bitcoin a investable product? Is it a token that you can buy and so forth? I think my answer is yes. It will. It will be a good token. A good store of value in the future, and also now, because as I've mentioned, it's $69,000 right now. If you base on the current price, with all the different institutions coming in, different corporations coming in to support the coin itself, lending the support, buying more Bitcoin into their balance sheet, I think this is a confident booster. Banks that were talking trash about Bitcoin back in 2018, 19, now they have started to shift into Bitcoin. So is it going to be a good store of value in the future? Yes. Is it a good store of value now? Yes. Is it a risky product? Yes. But like all good assets, or like all really good speculative assets, there's always an underlying bubble that may come out or may not come out. That's how an asset is being categorized, and that's how people view an asset as an asset. So I think Bitcoin as a big brother as of now, 100% good. Again, talking about market cap and so forth, now it's about close to $1 trillion, about 974 million right now. I think as we move on in the year, it should hit 1 trillion again. I do see that there are more Asian buyers entering the market right now, so I think it is still bullish.
Yeah. So I think that's good to know. The struggle, I'm not sure, the struggle which people face is how to value Bitcoin.
Okay.
Like a stock, you have a cash flow, you have intrinsic value. How to find Bitcoin value? That is a big question, isn't it?
I think the value in Bitcoin is in the kind of adoption, the kind of things that they are going to change, right? They are changing how the financial markets are working. They are changing how people look at a store of value. They are also changing the mindset of having a bank, just to do transactions. So it is a value itself, when you look at it. Of course, when you talk to some of the traditional guys, perhaps on your other episodes as well, they may think that it doesn't work like a stock, right? The stock, there's this group of CEO that is drawing a high salary. There are some KPIs that they have to meet throughout the year in order to value the stock. But for Bitcoin, there's no such thing, because it's decentralized, it's distributed. The price is determined by the market. There's again, no CEO. There's no one really running the show behind. So I think the way we value Bitcoin is the things that Bitcoin can do. The Bitcoin can promise in the shorter time frame, and what the Bitcoin can do in the longer time frame. Some of the governments who are more established, they are in a better position. They tend to embrace this Bitcoin a lot more. If you are talking about a government that's more close or more control driven, they might felt that this is actually a threat, right? So So based on the government perspective, I give you an example. Government will, I give advisories to government as well. So
Yeah.
government will say, hey, Andy, we are very pro blockchain, no problem. But we are against cryptocurrency. To me, well, it's okay, because as long as you are pro blockchain, there is a possible path for you to move into cryptocurrency, right? So
Yeah.
this is one scenario. But some of the government will say, hey, Andy, let's say example, the country ABC, yeah, they will say that, hey, let's do an ABC coin, right? And then it's a cryptocurrency. But then if you ask yourself, if this ABC coin is backed by the Feds, or backed by their own central bank, backed by the government, then there's nothing to shout about, right? it works exactly the same as M2, it works exactly the same as what the CBDC is trying to do, right? And what kind of value do you have? So governments are not really against cryptocurrency per se. They are maybe against Bitcoin because of its possible value and threat. But are they against cryptocurrency? My answer is no, because based on the scenario that I gave you, yes, they are okay with Bitcoin. Okay, yes, they're okay with cryptocurrency, but hey, I have to be the house, yeah, I have to be the main guy managing all the money. Yes, I'm happy to do that, but are they happy to have new flow of money coming in or a new form of asset coming in to disrupt them? It depends on country to country. So I think in the current times where government are changing their perception, towards the Bitcoin store of value, how this Bitcoin can function as an asset, can be saved, retrieved, exchanged from time to time. I think they have to start to facilitate this instead of trying to stop it. They can try to put rules around it, to make it more palatable for themselves, but they can't stop it. So it has come to a point where most of them realize that they can't stop it. They are trying to find ways to work around it and make sure that they have some form of control over it. So we are in the stage right now. I think we will see more progress in time to come.
So you think the Bitcoin is here to stay?
It is here to stay. That's 100% for sure.
Okay. And what do you have any price target in mind? Let's say 5 years down the line, where do you see Bitcoin? I mean, just an idea, as the demand picks up.
I do not really go for a price prediction, or any form of financial advice, but I did say that hitting 100,000 for BTC per coin is not an issue. It's definitely not an issue. But just on my own personal opinion, what should be the price of a Bitcoin? I think the price should be higher, but it should not go too high, because you just look at the price right now, which is about 52,000 US dollar. I think it is still an okay range, but once you hit anything above 100 grand and so forth, other perception or other form of restriction will actually come into the picture. People might think that this is overvalued. People might think that it is not stable because it might drop, another 30%, for example. So I think, on a personal basis, I hope that the Bitcoin itself can maintain at a certain range, which is somewhat between 50 to 100. I think that is a nice palatable range for people to still see that as a safe haven asset. But anything more than that, I still find that it is a bit risky.
What do you think is a better buy, Bitcoin or Ethereum?
Well, I think both are on a very different kind of mode right now. Yeah. So again, if you look at the price, Bitcoin 52, Ethereum 2004, market cap is just a fraction of it, and so forth. I think I see Ethereum as something that is more utility driven. It has a good fan base. It has a fairly reasonable price right now at 2004. But again, gas fees are getting a lot higher. people are complaining about it. People are switching to Binance Smart Chain, for example. People are complaining about it. But if you take a back seat, this high gas fees would also stop people or stop scams from coming into the crypto scene easily, right? If you look at it this way, now in order to be part of the Ethereum network, you got to understand the gas fees. You got to be able to pay the gas fees, to enjoy the liquidity within the whole Ethereum network, right? So I think right now, if the gas fees are high, it sets a higher benchmark for scammers to use Ethereum to scam, and I think that is a good thing for the Ethereum brand. That's also a good thing for the cryptocurrency family, as a whole, So I see that as a plus point for Ethereum. Your question is whether to buy Bitcoin or Ethereum. I think it is all about the preference, how you're going to see it. If you felt that Ethereum has more use cases, for example, from DeFi right now into the NFT space, you felt that there will be probably a new one, that is built on Ethereum, and it probably will. Then I think your bet can go on Ethereum, because perhaps the price can be 4,000, then that's 100% increase, based on today's price. Or you see it as a more utility, means that there are also more people using it. Okay, buying some of those tokens to keep it right now, there's no harm, right? So it all depends on preference between Bitcoin and Ethereum. But right now, in most of the my friends' wallet, I think the three top coins that they have would still be Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some of them are still holding on to big chunks of Tether, USDT. So I think these are the three main coin that is in most people's wallet, or those investors' wallet right now. Yeah.
So Ethereum, just for understanding, like what is the biggest utility of Ethereum?
I think right now a big chunk of the utility goes to DeFi. You can see what some of the leading DeFi project, decentralized finance projects, are actually on Ethereum. Okay. If you look at NFTs as well, right? Non-fungible token, a big chunk of them are also from Ethereum, within the Ethereum network. I think those two portions are huge utility for Ethereum, and that is good liquidity. 100% there will be new ideas or new projects, coming to place within the Ethereum network because of all these properties.
Yeah, I think to me it looks like Ethereum seems to have more use compared to Bitcoin, isn't it? Bitcoin is limited to store of value or currency, while Ethereum is a network, or where you can develop various products and various things.
I think Bitcoin has its use, in this current situation, because Bitcoin being the big brother, when Bitcoin's price fluctuates, everybody gets into the whole fluctuation mode, right? So in terms of use cases, Bitcoin is also used to fund a lot of these crypto activities. Bitcoin, I think some of the whales are also also holding a lot of Ethereum as well. I think this whole Bitcoin versus Ethereum thing is more complementary than an enemy status, because everyone works together with everyone, especially so between Bitcoin and Ethereum, or some of other Bitcoin fork coins that is out in the market, like Bitcoin Cash and so forth. They are all there to work together with each other, making sure that the whole crypto space is well aligned, to some expectation of some investors.
I think, what is this fuss about Dogecoin?
Wow, Dogecoin is I think they are founded by Billy and Jackson. back in the earlier days. It is like a meme. Some say is a joke. But right now the joke has become something mainstream. It's a top 10 coin. You know, um, it is a payment system on its own. In the States as well, you can see ATM that you can withdraw Dogecoin, or convert your money to Dogecoin or convert to fiat. So I do see that Dogecoin has gone mainstream. But if you ask me what's a Dogecoin, I think Dogecoin is just one of the many cryptocurrency that is in the space. Dogecoin, maybe earlier purpose is to be a part of a payment system that is almost free. So I think so far, I think it is on the right track. It is on the right track. And to be honest, although it's founded by Billy and Jackson back then, based on my understanding, they do not hold much Dogecoin. There's no core CEO per se officially, apart from Elon Musk, being the CEO. Other than that, there's no such thing. And the recent price increase in Dogecoin also came in as a slight surprise for many. It has been driven by these retail investors, driven by Reddit groups, Wall Street bets, and so forth. I think is it sustainable? Maybe that could be a slightly different scenario. I think as of now, looking at the price, it is still okay. But is the price of the Dogecoin overly priced as of now? I think it is a bit high. But as long as like I always tell my friends, even bankers or even billionaires and so forth, as long as there's a demand for it, there's a supply there, someone is willing to pay this amount, well, I think it's okay, right? So that's how I see Dogecoin.
Okay. Now, is it worth investing? I mean, is it something which investors should look at it right now, or avoid the crowd?
Well, I think that throughout the last 3-4 months, there are a lot of new retail investors who went in for Dogecoin. That's 100% for sure. Yeah. Is it a good time? It depends on the investors' risk appetite, right? Some investors, they just buy and then they try to hold it for 10 years. Okay, if you are looking at 10 years time frame, you buy at today's price. Okay, probably you might get a good return. If you are just going to buy it for a short period of time, just 1-2 months, then the kind of returns will also differ. If you are buying it as an investor to trade, buy and sell per se, or then it is also a different kind of mindset behind it, right? So all depends on your risk appetite, your investment appetite, and also how you see the coin in longer term. So for myself, for example, I felt that the price is slightly high. So what I tell my team is that let's not hold onto the coin. Let's do some trading, right? Of course, when you do trading, high leverages, for example, there's always a tendency that you might lose, right? So that is the kind of thinking that we have, because we felt that when we are unsure, we just trade. We can make from the volatile market, a good margin, from that. So I still think that should be the way, for people like us, for those who have really extra money to hold on to it for years and so forth. Their mindset is very different, because they felt that it will become a $4 million asset, or maybe they are thinking that a Dogecoin now is 20 cents, it can become a $5 asset and so forth. So it's a very different mentality. So I think exercise with caution. Always remember there's still a high risk behind all these crypto assets.
There are so many coins around. There is Dogecoin, there is this, other coins. Now, how to decide which one to buy and which one to invest in?
Wow. This is a very tough question. I think one a more standard answer is if you look at the coin, you feel that the application scenario is good. You know, there are many talks about it. You know, maybe you can try and buy it, right? I think that is the most scenario for most people. You know, some other people who are more privileged, you know, they can get better insights on some new coins. You know, uh, then that's a slightly different scenario. So for most retail investors, I think you have to look at a few things. One, look at the application scenario, look at the team members, uh, yeah, and then look at places like Twitter, for example. You know what kind of support they are getting. You know, I think these three are the main thing that you look at. But of course, apart from that, there are a long list. You have to look at the technology that's involved. You have to look at the community that is supporting it. Which country are they at? You know, there's a whole long list. You know, most important is you got to believe in it. If you believe in it, I think you can believe in yourself and then make some purchases. You know, but again, all these are not financial advice.
No,
It
no,
depends on
it's nothing.
how long
Mm,
the whole holding period, you know, you have for yourself. You know,
okay.
so I think different people will have a different play. Some people would love to buy the top 10 coins. You know, they
Mm,
only buy the top 10. But some of my friends who are more god of gambler like, you know, they will buy those very new coins that's in the market. You know, they think that, oh, it's okay, you know, I spent a $10,000 in the coin, I get a million coin right now. I hope that it can become a 2 million, you know.
mm.
So, you know, so that those are all different kind of mentality. But but just bear in mind that a lot of these new coins can become zero. Um, in time to come, maybe in weeks to come and so forth, because they are not proven. So always exercise with great caution.
So one thing, Andy, this Dogecoin, for example, how much the supply plays a role? Dogecoin, I heard is like I read is unlimited supply, right? Now,
I think again, people will say that Bitcoin is valuable because of the supply, you know, because it's not coming out anymore and so forth. Dogecoin as well. I think supply is just one factor how you look at the coin. For Dogecoin, you know, if the price is being maintained at a lower end, at 0.001 cent or something along that line, I think the supply doesn't really matter, right? But
okay.
if you look at it in a longer term, you know, if it becomes a $5 coin and so forth, and the supply is still unlimited, that probably become a problem. You know, but again, going back to the same mentality that I told you, the same mindset, if there is a demand, there is a supply, someone willing to pay that price for the coin, I guess it is still okay. You know, just like many other assets, you know, in the space right now, you know, it works the same. As long as someone willing to pay the price, you have the goods. That's it. You know, that's how it works.
What is NFT?
Well, NFT is a non-fungible token. You know, so NFT to me is a unit of data stored on a digital ledger, and it is being certified. Use it to certify a digital asset to be unique and not interchangeable. So I was on Channel News Asia twice, I
Yeah.
think in April, you know, to talk about NFTs, you know, how NFT is going to work, so forth and so on. So I think a simpler reply would be what I've said just now. You know, right now it can be used on items like photo, music, video, artwork, digital file, digital data sets, anything that is unique that you can think of, it can be NFT. You know, so that would again be my second simple illustration on what NFT is about.
And is it something people should look to invest in? Could it be a good investment for people looking for
Again,
NFTs?
investment has a few angles to it, right? So are you going to invest in the NFT marketplace? Are you going to invest in the NFT itself? because maybe NFT artwork token, or are you investing into an NFT fund, right? So it's a three different thing, yeah. So one, if you're going to invest in the NFT marketplace, you just got to make sure that the marketplace is really doing the right work, yeah. Don't invest blindly because the NFT marketplace is new. You just put in your money in. That doesn't work anymore. So the NFT marketplace must have this unique selling point. For example, what are the, for example, if it's going to be an artist-driven one, which artists are on their platform, which celebrities on their platform, right? So these are some of the things to look at. If you are going to invest in artwork per se, then it depends on whether you like the artwork or not. And do you feel that the artwork per se, or the artwork itself is going to have a more future value compared to the price that you have bought right now, right? So that is how people look at it. Or are you looking at building an NFT, investing in the NFT fund? Then that is a different thing, because an NFT fund, to me, out of the three, is a more exciting one. Why is it so? Because if you are in the NFT fund, the NFT fund could be looking at building the infrastructure for NFTs, right? It could be building the hardware for NFTs, So I see that as a longer route, down the road. Imagine next time when you go to your art gallery, all your gallery are all NFTs, are all digitized and so forth. The NFT fund itself could be building all the photo frame for it. They might be building a few other technology for it. So from an NFT fund perspective, I think is better. There's a lot of other things that can be done. And yeah, so I think the in thing right now, the more happening buzzword right now is still NFT. Should you invest? You really got to put your money in places where you really trust, and you got to make a judgment call, because NFTs, for example, for artwork, some of the artists, their work is sort of worthless, in the very beginning. But if you are able to spot some of them, and you have the faith in them, you also market for them, then possibly the chunk of rubbish, for example, that you have bought in the beginning, people think that it's rubbish, you think that it's gold, you kept it for 10 years, maybe you can get a very good value out from it. So it depends on your belief.
But NFT fund, what is that? Is it available on market, like is there a fund houses issuing that? The NFT fund you talked about?
I don't know of any in Singapore yet. But I have been talking to a friend of mine. His name is David Goh. He runs Passion Ventures. It is a CMS licensed fund. I did mooted the idea to start an NFT fund in Singapore. I do see NFT funds in China. So I hope to see that transition, into Southeast Asia in time to come, because not just about NFT, but if you look at the artwork, the artists, there are a lot of good artists in Southeast Asia, or even South Asia and so forth. There are a lot of good artists, good creative artists, in the space. I hope to bring them into the fund, or I hope to, get some of the funds to invest in their work.
Your $1 million make a crypto portfolio, and what would that be?
I still think that for myself, for example, it should be placed in a multiple basket.
Yeah.
So I think 50% of it should be placed in the top 5 coins, in the current market. Then another 30% should go into trading. Then the rest of the 20%, should go into early stage of venture investing. That's how I look at it. If we are talking about $1 million, because if you put the eggs in one basket, you might not be able to hatch it well. You might not be able to avoid some possible downfall. So I think putting in the top few assets, which are relatively more stable, 50% of it can actually guarantee and make sure that your 50% is there. The rest will go to trading, which is could be a volume game, it could be a really stressful game, 30%, and then the last 20% will be something more fun, right? You invest in early stage and hope that they become a unicorn, right? So that's how I see it for the $1 million.
So top 5 coins, you said Bitcoin, Ethereum.
For example, the current top 5 is Bitcoin, BTC, Ethereum, ETH, Binance Coin, BNB, XRP, which is Ripple, and then Tether, USDT, right? But if you put USDT aside because it's a stable coin, then perhaps you should look at things like Cardano or Litecoin. That's how I see it.
Thanks, Andy. That's really helpful. I really appreciate you giving me time.
No
And
problem.
I'll connect you again with you later. And you're so knowledgeable. Amazing. Thank you,
No
Andy.
problem.
Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Rajeev. Thank you.